Morning, everybody. Good morning. Want you over here. Go ahead and mark these out real quick. I know we're late. But we are here and we will do it anyways. We're trying to hurry so much hurry. All right, so we know where the opening 5 is. We're seeing what it's doing. We have the break above ready. I'm going to try to be smart about it. We have some new ideas moving forward. Ideas are good. They're the best in the world. Nobody's ever had plans as good as ours. Alright, so it has already broke above to the previous day's low. Let's see if we can get a retest now. See if our thing is happening or not. It is the big question of the hour. You don't know how such things will go. We will try our best to be super smart. All right, and this is why we have our
filled.
Cool. One. Mm, 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 mm. Doesn't look like we are oh man.
YouTube ads is made for your business. Bring your brand to life with targeted video ads.
All right, so this side
And connect
right
with the
now,
perfect audience.
this
Grow your business
one that's already
and reach your goals
negative.
with YouTube ads.
A bunch.
Eating in or dining out, both are rewarding with the American Express Gold Card. So are you in or are you out? The Amex Gold Card serves up everything just the way you like it, from all your favorite places. So whether you're dining in or out, with American Express, it's always a good time. The American Express Gold Card. Live the good life indoors and out and explore the benefits, credits, and perks waiting for you.
So we have our high scalp, which looks like we're gonna lose right now. And then we have our strategy, normal strategy here. Oh, come on, get out. Make it happen.
Target filled.
Sweet. All right, so we're out of that trade.
Order filled.
So we have our high scalp area. We're gonna see if this works out really well, and then we're gonna have our strategy, full strategy, more intraday. Oh no.
Stop filled.
Oh, I got wrecked. It decided to not be friendly today. Or else I don't think we get a trade in.
Order filled.
Not smart. Not smart.
Order filled.
We're gonna wait for some confirmation first.
Order filled.
No, we're gonna give it a shot. We should probably wait for the secondary pullback, but we did not.
Order filled. Stop filled.
Ah. Correct.
My mom, 58, did this to become debt-free in 48 months. Here's how my mom turned her finances around after racking up $33,421 of credit card debt. At first, she struggled by making just the minimum payments, but she realized this approach was keeping her trapped in debt. Then, she found national debt relief. With one low monthly payment personalized to her budget, she started paying down debt faster than if she kept up with minimum payments. She didn't need to drain her savings. National debt relief helped her consolidate her debt, pay less per month, and made it simple to track her progress. They were able to help her even with her low credit. Take it from my mom. Don't let debt control your life. Take the assessment and get approved in minutes. See how much they could save you on your debt.
I often joke that I'm retired, but in reality, it's just that I get to live my dream of being a full-time DJ, and that's because of my amazing business partner.
All right, so now we've got this channel going.
Administrative work that I don't want to do.
And again, our criteria was not met.
HoneyBook makes it look like I'm a team of 10 when it's really just me in the background. Plus, HoneyBook AI is woven all throughout the platform, giving me insights, drafting emails, and taking notes. And since it knows my business, it's doing all the work so that I don't have to. Get started for free at honeybook.com.
Stop filled.
Oh, I did the wrong account. Maybe we do the other strategy too, the trading volume strategy. We're gonna figure that one. Maybe we'll do that for 23. We're waiting. We're waiting for signs. Let's see what's happening. You know what I mean? Got our scalp side over here. We got our wait for the strategy. We never got the test back, so we might not get a trade on this side. Here we did make a higher low. We are about to break through. Maybe. We'll see. All right. Let's see what happens there. That might be it. Do we put an
Order filled.
That's good enough for me. We're just
Order
gonna go ahead and do
filled.
the same thing. We're going to leave that one. This one, we're going to go ahead and try to grab the runner. Wrong one.
Stop filled.
Oh, man. Wrecked. This is the one where we were positive in a lot. Now we're not. I mean, we kind of are. All right. Well, then our scalps aren't doing so hot right now. That is for sure. For sure the scalps aren't. Seems to be a decent line around here.
Order filled.
Let's give
Order
it another
filled.
go. Right at the top again. This one we're gonna go for a little bigger.
Stop filled.
We could tell that one did not work. Actually, I think this is the play.
Order submitted.
I think that's where I'll submit that order. I live with those consequences. So this is along the 15-minute orb. We did get close. Oh, we do have these ones in here. All right.
With over 2 billion monthly users, YouTube ads makes it easy to expand your reach, target the right audience, and
See
turn
what
viewers
happens.
into customers. Let your business be seen with YouTube ads.
We don't have a bounce off. We had it pretty close. I don't know, man.
Let me tell you why we have Spectrum. I'm on a video chat. Melissa's live stream with her audience. The kids are on their phone streaming while gaming. What screen are you paying attention to?
Fast, reliable internet, starting at $30 a month.
I think we're gonna be more Orby here. All right. Dun, dun. Just in case. So we'll see. We'll get a trade over here on this side.
Order filled.
All right, now we're gonna be super Orby. Sim account, we go boom and say
Order
buy.
filled. Target filled.
So I think we missed it here.
Stop filled.
Ouch. We didn't stay too Orby. If anything, this was the most Orby that we are probably going to be.
Stop filled.
Boom, out. Honestly, I think we should have stayed in. We'll probably
Order
jump
filled.
in right there. Now we will do it. Now we will stay in. That does not look good. Actually, I like that. We will keep that as our orb trade.
An opportunity to earn 4 times membership rewards points at U.S. supermarkets. Then grab a little pick-me-up from Dunkin', courtesy of Amex. The Amex Gold Card rewards you on life's necessities like groceries. And perhaps more importantly, your iced coffees. Make your everyday more rewarding with the Amex Gold Card and Dunkin'.
That is looking
Order
good.
filled.
I will jump in now.
Bye, honey.
Morning breath, huh?
Dr. Garcia? Oh.
That's millions of bacteria growing overnight.
Crest Pro Health helps prevent oral health issues.
Gonna wait on Sim.
Crest.
It's not looking good.
Order filled.
It does.
Order filled.
There you go. We took the $2 hit so we can get in.
Target filled.
Boom. Done. Oh, did we have news today?
With Bitcoin is that price could simply trade in to take out these relative equal lows, right? So that could be the first move. And then after price takes out the low, we could see the market then rally towards the all-time high, right? So, and then this rally could be the rally that we could see Bitcoin, rally for a period of time. Who knows, right? Or it could simply like take out the all-time high, trade back into the range, and we could see Bitcoin decline for the rest of the year. Okay, but right now there is a lot of institutional capital in Bitcoin accumulating, especially over this past few weeks. We've seen some serious moves by big VCs, as well as big hedge funds, buying ETFs on Bitcoin, and even countries even building some sort of a reserve on Bitcoin as well. So this is not really something that I see, like, even if we do see some sort of like a bearish market, I do not see it being bearish like below 80K, for example. Like there's just so much liquidity holding price up in this range that
So
if
just
it were
some
to
leading
a
index.
bullish break to the upside, that bullish break could be bullish for some time, basically. So right now what I'm looking at with Bitcoin, again, just going with the cycles, right? So on the 15 minutes time frame, we've seen that the market has delivered a full bearish cycle to the downside, right? So 1, 2, 3, and then it gave this is meant to be accelerated run to the downside. And then thereafter, the market gave a low, a lower low, traded back into the range, given that initial expansion, right? And then thereafter,
looking
what we're
good,
now looking
guys.
at here is 1 second. Right, and then what we're looking at here is the market broke structure to the upside. And then after breaking structure, the market came back down, retested this low, okay? And now that the market has retested the low, what's the
It's
next
looking
logical
good.
move? Well, in my opinion, or in my view, the next logical move for price is obviously for it to give a bullish continuation.
So I think we missed the move on this account over here on the right side, so that is okay.
Let's say today, what I do want to see on the 30 minutes time frame is I do want to see a new high form. So I want to see a swing high. So high.
Kind of want to take the trade. I'm not gonna lie.
Once that happens, my area of interest is going to be this bullish order block.
But that would
So
be
I would anticipate the
FOMOing.
market to retest this bullish order block, and thereafter to give a bullish continuation to the upside. So this is like the kind of like the sequence of events that I will anticipate Bitcoin taking if it were to obviously give that sort of swing high within the next hour, right? And then we take a look at this on the 15-minute time frame just to see, okay, how aligned is how aligned is the 15-minute cycle with the 30 minutes? Well, the 30 minutes with me, on the other hand, is indicating something slightly different because we've seen that first initial low. The market gave a secondary low down here and then trapped below this initial low before coming down again. So if I extend this line, we can see that the market came down again, but it trapped below the low and it closed back into the range. So again, there isn't really any sort of like sign that the market has delivered a
Stop filled.
And also there is that 800 EMA just hanging
Stop
right
filled.
below the price, right below the
I just didn't think it was gonna make it through that.
This looks like if the market were to give a move to the downside, it probably would be a very sharp drop into these equal lows, this 800, and then that liquidity grab could be what triggers the bullish move to the all-time high. So 50 minutes is still showing bearishness, but no, so 30 minutes is still showing bearishness, but the 15 minutes is showing bullishness. So this picture is going to be very similar to the picture that I see being painted on gold, where the 30 minutes is indicating bullishness, but the 15 minutes is indicating bearishness, which is a reversal move. So obviously this reversal move is trading into, so again,
So this goes up to here, then we know for sure that we should have stayed in.
So if price doesn't react here, keeps getting lower, then you know it's going to be a very interesting move, right? A very stubborn move. But I do want to see some sort of a reaction here. I do want to see some sort of like price action to break above these highs and above the 800 EMA. Usually, like when the market does make that move, it typically can be very, very aggressive. So it'll be very interesting to see.
It does look like we're gonna pull back for a sec.
To the upside above these highs and above the 800. So it's a very anyway, I don't say so. So Bitcoin is given a very similar structure to the dollar, just in the opposite direction. So what I do see taking place in the 15 minutes is a bullish correction or a bullish reversal into some sort of a 30 minutes higher time frame target. So where is the higher time frame objective?
Oh man,
So
dude, I'm so tired, man.
First is, of course, we have the mitigation block right there, right? So this is one area of interest that the market could simply trade into. And then from there, we could see a bearish continuation to the downside into these lows and into that 800 EMA below. Okay, that's the first area of interest. Another area of interest, so if we go into the 15 minutes, there'll be a lot more clarity on that, would be this bearish order block right there. So this is the most recent
Order filled.
sort of like significant block of order relative to where price currently is. So there is a likelihood we could see the market trade bullish.
In my mind, there's a trade here.
By the way, is also where that 30 minutes mitigation block is. So there's a lot of confluence in this region, something I like to look for. And then we could see some sort of like reaction of that block. The market could potentially even take out this short-term high. And then after taking out a short-term high, we could then see some sort of a rejection and a bearish move to the downside. So this is another scenario that I do see taking place. So right now the question then is this. is it worth, if there is a bullish setup on the 15-minute time frame, is it worth taking that bullish setup? Personally, I like to take trades in line with the 30 and the 15. If when the 30 and the 15 are aligned, that for me is like my A-star setup. But when the 30 and the 15 are misaligned, my personal preference is to take the 30 minutes setup. So in this case, the 30-minute setup would be bearish, right? So therefore, I personally would sit out on a 15-minute bullish opportunity in order to capitalize on a 30-minute bearish.
So tired.
The reason
Sim
for that
account,
is
we're
because
just leaving stuff in.
when I used to
Pass
take
or
half-percent
fail.
trades and trade both directions and all that kind of stuff, I realized that what it did to me psychologically is that, let's say that I get into the 15 minutes long, psychologically, it closes me to the possibility of getting in on a good 30 minutes entry, right? Because I'm so focused on my long position that I miss a very good entry
Stop
opportunity
filled.
in 30 minutes, which would be the more rewarding trade, right? Compared to the 15 minutes, which could potentially yield a 1-to-1 or a 1-to-2 into this order block. But then if I hadn't committed to that long position and I had the mental capacity, not mental capacity, but I had the focus.
Order
then
filled.
that
So is the
Order
power
filled.
of 50%
that would have
more
actually
remaining power.
given me a much better game in the trade. So based on that experience, I decided I'm going to stop trying to take trades both sides and be like, oh, I'm going to buy from here, sell here, and then I'm going to place a new sell position. But then I was like, it's not worth it. I'd just rather just wait for the best trade in that scenario, wait for the best setup in that scenario, and execute based on that. So that's what I'm going to do in this case.
Cool.
So besides that, that is just what I'm looking at of both Bitcoin and gold.
What particular challenges do you think you maybe experience trading Bitcoin compared with gold? Are there any?
Target filled.
In terms of time?
Psychological ones. In terms of, is there anything in particular that is more, that stands out when you're trying to trade Bitcoin versus trading gold?
Oh, I see. Is there anything that stands out from what perspective? From a technical point of view, or fundamental,
from a mental challenge perspective?
Orb.
Well, okay, from a mental challenge perspective.
Orb. Stick with the orb.
Target filled.
Gold I find a lot
Beautiful.
easier to flow with, and by that I mean like with gold
You're
has
sticking with the orb.
stay in ranges for a period of time. So like if you look at this case,
Well.
the price has been moving in this range for a few days, right? So for me, like with gold, as long as gold is in a range, it's easy for me to like, I call it ping pong trades, where I'm trading from one high to one low, from one low to one high, within some sort of trend context.
We're going to go to here.
Bitcoin, on the other hand, although I find Bitcoin technically easy, so by that it's like the structure and the cycle and the flow of price is significantly better than it was 2 years ago, because of ETF funds last year just brought a lot of institutional liquidity into Bitcoin that stabilized price and gave it a very structural flow.
Stick with the orb over there.
Right? So that's when I started.
We jumped in pretty late on the orb. We jumped in on the retrace.
Easy to identify trend.
We're just in profit here. No matter what happens, we're good. Might not end up with the amount we would like, but we're just gonna stick it in. We just want to stick with the strategy here, which would be taking some profit now. Don't really know how to do all that yet.
I did a session, the New York session, the second session on Friday, and I talked about this set of shorts. And live, I was like, okay, I'm selling Bitcoin, but this is something that's very typical to Bitcoin that I find sometimes annoying. So set up a short, and I identified my entry opportunity was at this bearish order block. So I was like, cool. So I'd already entered at the bearish order block, but Bitcoin sometimes has this tendency to like wick around my area of entry. So it like even wicked and took out line, and I typically place my stop loss above highs or below lows. So it took me out of the trade, traded back into the range, hung around for a bit, and then it eventually gave that move to the downside. And I was simply, so this was a very ping pong trade, where I was just simply looking to take the trade from from this order block.
Cannot change order, it says.
The bigger move was going to be potentially to the upside. I wasn't looking to hold this for a long time, but I actually got whipped out of this trade. So Bitcoin has a tendency of like hanging around entry for a longer period.
We're not sticking with the orb.
But I don't mind price hanging.
Cool. So we did get one trade in. We did not stick with the orb because we were pretty late to it. Did not allow us to pull some profit.
My stop loss multiple times, and sometimes it wouldn't stop me out. Sometimes
So we just went ahead and made up,
like a good 4
you know,
hours, and then
a little bit of a makeup.
But there were times when it teased my stop
Pretty
loss
good,
for 3
I think.
hours,
I think if
and
we
then the final
stuck with
30
this
seconds, it would
scenario
stop
every day.
and then give that rally. Now that is what I find mentally frustrating.
You know, $100 is $100, man.
It doesn't happen to be a goal.
We gotta get to 3,000. That's not enough to get there in a week, but
But you just hit
fudge.
like sideways, up and down, you get stopped.
Rip that open
Try
again.
Eventually you're right about the direction, but
There you go. We would have been stopped out.
That's particularly tough on new
$100
traders, isn't it?
times 20, 2,000.
That kind of being having your
I mean,
stop loss
technically,
a little bit
we
like
could have
that
been
for
further
hours
along.
on end.
Yeah.
So what do you think about new traders then?
Sorry, what do I think in terms of what for new traders?
Bitcoin dollar.
In order to trade it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you're a new trader, I 100% would not advise trying to trade gold, and I 1000% would not even advise trying to trade Bitcoin.
Actually, I really want to know what happened with this trade.
It's like you've just learned to ride a horse, and then all of a sudden you think you can ride a bull. Or you haven't even learned to ride a horse.
Ooh, we took profit.
You think you can ride a bull. Yeah, it's
Took
like,
some profit. Way to
doesn't make
freaking
any sense.
go.
First, learn how to ride a horse. In fact, learn how to ride a bicycle first with training wheels.
Way to
and then
go.
make your way gradually up to the bull. So, because the volatility, because it's like you definitely need to have psychological grit to trade gold, particularly. Personally, I like ranging markets. I love ranging markets more than trending markets. I'm more profitable when a market is in a concise range.
All right, so if we would have got in way over here, way better.
This is why I have an affinity with gold, because it just spends 80% of the time trading in a range. So 80% of the time I can trade it well. But the 20% of the time when it's trading outside of the range and it's
Well, guys,
shooting into like some new levels, right? I'm just there like waiting.
I think we're overall positive today.
Ranging again.
Good for your
So,
skin without
you
leaving
first need to
a
identify
Could probably
what
get
kind
some
of
more
trader you are, and it's easy to do
scalps
that
in.
with
protection
gold
that
dollar
cares
and
for
euro
skin
dollar.
isn't a myth.
You know, like your typical forex pairs. And then
It's
once you
likely
kind of
what
figure
we'll
out how to
just
trade
do.
because you are, it's like if you find yourself, for example, very drawn to trading dollar yen or dollar Swiss, then it shows that you actually might be someone that likes to trade ranging markets. But if you find yourself, no, sorry, not ranging markets, like trending markets, because dollar yen, these things trend quite a lot. But if you find yourself to have an affinity, it just keeps shooting. But if you have an affinity towards like euro dollar, pound dollar, or even like if you're a weirdo and you like trading euro pound, then it shows that you have an
Yeah, I think we're gonna stay on sim now and just trade away. All right, it's breaking down. We're gonna go ahead and go for that trade on the sim.
That tells me to trade euro pound. I'm just like, okay, you're an interesting breed of trader.
I'm kind of liking this 50.75 so far.
Yeah, so this is running now. Gold is running. My entry on this, so the issue with this, like, it wasn't
On our sim account, we're gonna get used to putting in trades,
So I had to like do it manually.
sticking
so my
to
entry wasn't as pinpoint as I would have loved it to be. But as you can see, like one thing I love about this, the price came down. Again, notice how that 800 EMA is acting as an area of support for price. The price came down right into that 800.
Well,
acting as an area of dynamic.
There's got to be a point where we know for sure this isn't gonna work out, that we gotta pull.
Because sometimes the price breaks alone, just heading to the 800 or heading to sort of low near that 800, and that would sort of be an area that the price could react off.
Would you hold that while you go to bed? It's nighttime, your time.
This one I'm holding it. I'm holding the. I tried getting it. Now I finally have it. I'm not gonna close it. So this one I would hold overnight because if this is the low of the week, if my theory is like in terms of the floor price with this is correct, then ideally this should be some sort of a low of the week. And then for like maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we could see price trade into these highs. And then maybe Friday we could see the market maybe getting ready to give some sort of a correction move. So yeah, I don't want to wake up in the morning, find prices up here and I close down here. That would really irritate me. So I'd rather just leave this open.
Gotcha.
But I'll stay up for like another 2 hours just to see how it runs. Maybe watch a bit of TV. I've got a TV on my office,
When we
so
picture the
I just
future
watch
of
a bit
work,
of TV
we
and,
see you
and keep an eye
joining
on
a global workforce that empowers growth everywhere, strengthens the communities it's a part of, and brings together the right people and resources to change the world. The future of work helps bring more dreams within reach.
Yeah, it is. So just a waiting game at this point. And the Bitcoin is giving a nice bullish move. So again, with this, I'm not gonna buy. As tempting as it is, it's better to just wait for price to trade into this area of interest, into this box, and then from there, we could see some kind of a bearish reaction to the downside.
Cool. Can I just quickly show my charts here? Just give a quick update.
Oh yes, of course.
This is the NASDAQ. This little block over here was the opening range. I was waiting for a little bit of a pullback. There was even a fair value gap within that range. Obviously, prior to the range actually coming to an end, 45 minutes into the session. So we had a very strong move back up.
Target filled.
Sweet.
But I'm not going to chase this. I would preferably like to get in close to the top of the opening range. Ideally, if price can make it into this fair value gap where we've got this green box here. If you just quickly have to look here at price structure, I was tossing and turning before our session started today what this could have been. And I was thinking maybe an ABC, X, ABC type of vibe, and then a move lower. And then at a later stage, a move back up. Now, obviously, that didn't happen. So what I'm currently thinking here is this is clearly an impulsive move to the upside here. So this more than likely was just leading diagonal, and we had an A, B, C for 2, so wave 1, wave 2 correction, obviously impulsive.
All right, I think we're pretty much done here, guys.
Getting a little fourth wave lower with more upside before we potentially get a deeper.
I don't think we'll get another trade here in the next 3 minutes.
Get a little bit of a deeper move here, maybe even back to that upper area of that opening range. Then this could still be a trade that might work out. Meaning, I'm expecting at least one more little leg upwards.
Richard, just for clarification, your opening range was the first 15 minutes after the bell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's just the opening range breakout strategy. It's nothing new. A lot of traders trade them on indices. So they will wait for once the cash session opens for 45 minutes, and then if you get a, let's say, a breakout with momentum, typically, but after that first 15 minutes, then you can use different time frames. But I like using the 5-minute time frame, so I don't want to see a wick out of the range. I want to see a close above or below that range. And then that quite often gives you a nice type of direction to expect, at least during the morning till afternoon session, lunch session. Does it always work? Obviously not. It's very simplistic in nature. But quite often, if you just use very strict management, I like to see an actual fair value gap that forms within that opening range. And quite often, even if you do get a breakout out of the opening range, whether it's bullish or bearish,
when we picture the future of work, we see you at a company that sees and supports you, where you discover new passions and learn skills that help you pursue them and find your next big career move just down the hall. The future of work is a career that grows with you.
72-hour odor protection with just 6 ingredients isn't a myth.
an ABC, typically a fourth wave will pull back to 38.2% retracement area, which is slightly above that opening range. So again, as I mentioned, we might be seeing a little fourth wave correction lower, so that's what I'm treating it as. If we can just get slightly lower there on the NASI, then I'll be willing to take a trade. Don't know if we're actually going to have enough time during today's session, but that's what I'll be stalking after our morning session.
And then are you staying on the 5 minute when if price came back to your opening range or to your fair value gap? Are you staying on the 5 minute then for confirmation of continuation?
Yeah, so what I'm trying to do here, so I'm trading two different strategies. The one is the liquidity sweep, where I want to see price take out level with reversal. So it's completely like a reversal type setup. Whereas the orb setup with this, they call an orb strategy, opening range breakout strategy, is more like if we do get strong continuation or trends rather than a reversal, then I can pick between the two, at least try to have more options on the table. So that's the idea there. If I can get a slightly deeper retracement here, then I'll probably attempt a trade there. Question is where to. I would feel way more comfortable getting in around about the 21,335 level, slightly above this fair value gap, almost in the middle of that opening range. And then obviously we had this overnight session tonight, so maybe if you see a revisit of that, there's quite a lot of structural points that might act as support around about that. Right, crude oil, very strong push up higher. As I mentioned, I'm treating this entire move to the upside that started on the 15th. That was last week, Thursday, right? I'm treating as a corrective structure, ABCX, double zigzag. So I'm expecting price to break above Friday's high. Or was this actually yesterday's high? Sunday's open. Oh, it was Friday's high on the 16th.
All right.
Then
Sounds like Richard does very much similar.
If this occurs during my trade window, or maybe after even the trade window, it spans between 9 and 11. Things are getting late on my side in South Africa. If I am in front of the computer, we do take out this high, start seeing weakness, break of price structure to the downside, then that could potentially be a nice, decent setup to go short on crude oil. Sorry guys, we've got some viewers here with some comments. Tuurlijk, that sounds Dutch. Walter, you absolute legend. You got a fan there, Walter.
Oh, that's
Robert,
very surprising.
Robert, he says he uses the first 5-minute orb, but I started also working out the 50-minute orb just in case. Cool, Robert, how's that going? I know the 15 minutes quite old school technique, but again, I think you should add a little bit more into there than just like getting into a trade as soon as you get a breakout, right? So always the risk and reward potential is also very important. Sometimes that range can be pretty large, especially on the NASDAQ, so you don't want to just jump in, place your stop loss below the range.
When we picture the future of work, we see you at a company that sees and supports you,
can happen.
where you discover new passions
But
and learn
last week
skills that help you
trading
pursue
this
them
technique
and find your next
got
big
chopped
career
up.
move just down the
Eventually
hall. The
got the
future of work
direction
is a
right,
career that grows with you.
but just very volatile.
Hypoallergenic clean recommended by
Stopped up multiple
dermatologists.
times.
No irritating residues, no dyes, no perfumes.
Yeah, Robert, maybe Walter, you can remember this. He's also trying to add the 80% value area rule to it, or at least a sim for a little bit. Who said that, like, if you have, I can't remember exactly how that works, there's an 80% chance the market will go in a certain direction if it trades above the value area, or 80% above the value area? Remember. Can you remember?
Yeah, so that's, I don't remember who, well, I know one
I think
person
it was
that
Larry
uses,
something. He was a floor trader.
Yeah. Yeah, so one person that uses value area theory.
I just
Yeah,
can't remember.
but I mean, value error is really powerful stuff. Like it's obviously you look for you're utilizing the. I mean, I haven't used it in years. I think TradingView now has the function. Let me see if I can find it again.
What an indicator.
Yes. So you basically just define the VARH and the VARL, so the value area high and the value area low. And then you can then from there identify where the point of you call that the point of liquidity is. I forgot what it's called actually. The
Point of control.
Point of control. That's one, POC. And then you identify the POC, and then the POC is essentially where you're going to be looking to a lot of the time take trades from, right?
Yeah.
And then because like when price then trades away from the value area, so 80% away from the value area, that's usually an indication of like a changing character. So you can then use that in confluence with break-up market structure and you know, other concepts. But yeah, I simplified mine. I got rid of using that a few years back.
Yeah, the indicator, there's one indicator called SVP on TradingView, which will give you the value area. And I think, well, I was taught that you're supposed to set that up on the 30-minute chart.
Yeah, I've also remember something like that. 30 minutes, right?
Yeah, the chart is, and it's yesterday's. So you're monitoring the level based off of yesterday's value area today. So it's market sentiment compared with yesterday's main trading range. Yeah.
Are you trying to find it there, Walter?
Oh no, I wasn't
24-hour
trying to
moisturizing body wash with just 12 ingredients isn't a
Yeah,
myth.
SVP is one. I think there's others that just talk about volume, but SVP is a session volume profile, which works pretty well. But you've got to set it on 30 minutes.
List your vacation rentals on Booking.com.
Yeah, I just use pure price action now the majority of the time.
Yeah, I mean that's I don't know, Laura, if you experienced this dealing with traders during the years, but it's certainly true from my experience and hearing it from a lot of traders that you know when you do start, you want the best and the most promising holy grail indicator or combination of them. And I remember back in the days when I started, how many indicators I used to look at. And it's, you know, after a while, you don't even know what the hell is going on anymore. And the more experience you build up through the years, you tend to use less and less indicators.
Because I always think that understanding price action is, again, I mentioned this when I was speaking with Paul, it's like learning a new language. And so
it is.
at the start, you need all the help you can get.
Yeah, absolutely.
I remember when I moved abroad as a young person and I didn't know the language, and I remember sitting in
All right, that's it, folks. All the loves. I got sidetracked. Anyways, we're positive today.